What's up, everybody? It's Erin.
And Nicole, this is Dude That's Fucked Up.
The podcast.
Welcome.
What else could it be? I don't know.
I don't know. It could be a new hit single. Dude That's Fucked Up.
Yes, could be. You never know.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I hope you all are well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing as good as I can be.
Oh my God. Story of my life.
You know? In this day of our Lord, this year of our Lord 2021.
What did I saw a video in the Facebook group recently, and it was like, this being the year whatever. And I was like, oh, I'm going to start saying that. This being the year 2021.
Mm-hmm. Wild shit's happening out there, and we're all just trying to get through every single day, you know?
And on top of that, I'm trying not to contribute to the shit. Actively trying not to contribute.
Trying to be nice and kind and give others the break that I feel I deserve too. Giving everybody breaks.
That's right.
Yeah. As you can tell, we've had a week. But I don't want to talk about it.
We don't have to.
We don't have to.
It's our show. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
That's right. Do we have any business?
No.
Okay. Go to our website, DTFUpodcast.com.
Yeah.
Anything fucked up this week?
Oh my God. Okay, this isn't fucked up, but like something I'm really looking forward to, because you know how we started doing like maybe it's just actually, okay, no, let me rephrase that. The fucked up thing about this is how excited I am about it.
What is it?
Oh my God. Okay. It has been reported that there is a Rupaul Christmas movie coming out on December 2nd. This being the year 2021 of our Lord, on VH1. It is a premiere event, and it is called The Bitch Who Stole Christmas. And it has like 20 queens in it.
Wow.
I just am so, like, I'm not looking forward to the holidays at all for a myriad of reasons. Like, so many reasons. I just want to be in next year already. But this very particular thing is really already bringing me joy. I haven't even seen it.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be great. I don't know, like the
really
most
bad.
/ really bad. Yeah.
But in the best way. I think it'll be campy and like fun, and the acting probably won't be great, but that's fine. I'm into it.
I know. Who cares? It's just like, Calgon, take me away. You know, like I need something. I need anything.
Calgon, who's she?
You don't know her? I don't know her.
Calgon, I barely know her. So not really a fucked up thing at all, but
I think it's something to look forward to, honestly. That's great.
So, yeah. What's your fucked up thing of the week?
Today I got a brand spanking new, hot off the press IUD installed.
Hot off the lot? You test driving that bad, baby, or is it yours to own?
It's mine to own. Yeah, it's not. There's no returns on this one. It's in there like swimwear.
Good.
Yeah.
How
so
was it?
I got it. This is the fucked up. Is like I literally could not feel a single thing. Doctor's like, it's a lot of pressure. I'm like, it is. Just like a really like a good like pinch. I'm like, when? And then it was over. So who, what, where, when, why?
Oh my God, bless.
Yeah, I know. So like, it's true. Having two kids really does just like, you can, like, anything can happen. It's like your uterus is the opening, your cervix it's a one-way door at first. Mm-hmm. And then once something comes out of there, it's just like, well, okay, it's a saloon door now.
It's two-way.
It's two-way. So
it's a revolving door at this point.
It's like, howdy, partner. Oh my God.
Did somebody say IUD?
IUD. We ain't seen you round these parts in about a year. I don't know.
Belly on up to the bar. Why don't I get you a whiskey? IUD as I live and breathe.
Watch out for the spittoon. It's mighty full. Ew, I don't know. What does that have to do with a uterus? I don't know. A uterus saloon.
I feel like a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like there's definitely a spittoon in the uterus saloon.
It's like maybe the spittoon is shaped like a uterus. That's my kind of saloon.
I feel like it's their slogan. It's like, you got a spittoon. Everyone gets a spittoon in the IUD Saloon.
How did we get here? I don't know.
But I love it. I just want to stay here all night.
Yeah. Well, speaking of saloons, I made myself a Mai Tai with the delightful ingredients. Nicole is top tier, undefeated gift giver. Like, you are so thoughtful and so like good at just knowing exactly what to do and what to give. And I'm so lucky.
Oh my God.
She came over and dropped off my birthday present the other day, and it was a bottle of rum, a bottle of orgeat, and that's like orgeat. That's or
maybe it's orgeat. It's like a ZH.
Yeah, I think it's orgeat. Orgeat. I don't know. It's almond liqueur and ingredients to make a Mai Tai. So cheers. Thank you. God. I love it. It's so delicious.
I had a whole tropical vibed gift thing going on. Yeah, I like a theme.
I love a theme. You just know exactly what I needed, you know?
I just feel like I would like this stuff.
Yeah, no, dude, that's how I give gifts. I'm like,
yeah,
one for me and one for you.
That's exactly right, because I just made Mai Tais, and I'm like, I think I'll get Erin stuff to make Mai Tais for her birthday.
I know. I'm like, I was shopping on Sephora. I'm like, oh, she would love this because I love it. So she's going to love it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, what a time. I
know.
I think I'm due for my like lady appointment, but also I have to get a new IUD in like February, March. So I'm just going to wait, and then I'm going to have that.
Do it all in one go. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't hurt as bad this time, because there's been a small opening, but it's been opened.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my second IUD barely felt anything, and that was before.
Oh, good.
I can't remember.
I've been a little worried about it.
Well, yeah, it's like getting it taken out is like, once you get it taken out, I think it's like, yeah,
you're fine.
Creates the saloon door.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, because it went in on the way in, and it's out on the way out, and then it's Howdy. Nice seeing you around these feminine parts.
God damn it.
Also, for anyone not watching on YouTube, I'm tipping my hat.
But you're doing it too close to your forehead.
I know,
you need to do it further away. Yeah.
I'm wearing
your
a
forelock.
tiny hat.
Yeah.
It's just like a little fascinator cowboy hat.
Yeah, it is like a fascinator cowboy hat. Exactly.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right. Well, should we start talking? Let's do this, man. Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. We're just going to get into it because this shit it's too wild, man. Fucking hell.
I don't even know how we were just trying to pick a topic this week. I don't even know how we got here, but I really wanted to talk shit about this man.
Yeah.
But I've been won over. I'm just going to say it.
Okay.
I'm still going to talk shit on a bunch of stuff, and I think we'll still talk shit on him, but I thought I was going to be a lot more annoyed with him.
I think I hate him more after this.
Oh, what an exciting we did a Freaky Friday.
Yeah. I don't know.
Freaky Friday.
Freaky. Okay, you guys, we are talking about a man who did some just a wild thing. He did something that should not be done by just any jerk off the street. He tightrope walked across the chasm between the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
The World Trade Center. This man was Philippe Petit. He's a French high wire artist, and he gained his fame by doing unauthorized high wire walks. He not only did a high wire walk between the Twin Towers, he did a high wire walk between the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. And he did that in 1971. He did the Sydney Harbor Bridge in 1973, and the Twin Towers. That's probably his most famous high wire walk. Feat. Yeah. He did the World Trade Center in 1974. This guy, man, he's still alive.
Yeah.
After doing all these crazy stunts.
Spoiler alert. He
did it.
Yeah.
He made it. Yeah. Don't worry, guys. He made it. This guy, Philippe Petit, was such a nonconformist and just like so into tightrope walking and his own like artistic vision of what that meant that he considered the fucking circus too predictable and boring. So like he's like, I'll never join the circus. It is too controlling. My artistic vision is too much. I cannot be conformed to. And so like,
also wasn't high or dangerous enough.
Yeah, but I'll tell you some shit that happened to him when he did end up doing like a little promo for a circus. And anyway, but I guess I'm torn though between thinking this guy is super punk rock and just so snobby and above it all, pun intended, because he's just like the circus. It's so, how do you say it, pedestrian? No.
But it is pedestrian because, like, you use your feet as a tightrope walker.
Oh.
I don't know if that makes sense. But, yeah, I'm torn, but, like, for different reasons. I'm torn between, is this guy just, like, the world's biggest asshole? Like, or is he an artiste? Like,
I feel like a lot of artists are assholes.
I think you're right. No, and it's like that's why the and or, because I think it's the and, because I think it is like this guy is like a little bit out there in terms of what he's chasing and how focused and fixated he is on this thing, but also like, which is commendable in some ways. It's like he has this thing he wants to accomplish, and it's like, okay. But on the other hand, it's like, well, you don't need to be a total dick about it, which...
Yeah, he really had a vision for what he wanted to do. He was like very grandiose in his thinking. Ever since he was a little kid, he was always into magic and performing and... Unicycle, of course, yeah. Like, you know, very, very French clown kind of things, I think, you know?
Yeah. Like a mime or something. Like he just is, the typical French entertainer.
Yeah, he's like that classic, like, just kind of, he's artistic with it, but he's also just like very, does not give a fuck. You know, he's very subversive with it. So it's very interesting. I mean, he's an interesting dude. So ever since he was little, he was like always going for it. He started like practicing slacklining and stuff when he was like 16 years old in his backyard, and just really started crushing it with that.
Yeah, he was trying like I think he did a lot of like circus adjacent things. Like he did equestrianism and juggling and fencing and carpentry and rock climbing and bullfighting, and was like really, really getting into all these, I would call them eccentric. One of these activities alone does not make someone eccentric, but if these are all of the skills that you're learning, like at some point you've built your own, you are a circus man.
Sure. I think he's like the like Daredevil equivalent. Like he's doing like the classic kind of Daredevil stuff before there was like like motorcycles or you know, like the X-gamey kind of Daredevil-y kind of stuff, you know?
Like he's doing like
it's the classic
bare minimum. Yeah, the classic. That's the nicer way to put it. Yeah, there's not a lot of machinery involved. It's all very like he just needs his own self. Like juggling.
And maybe a horse.
Maybe a horse, maybe a sword. But like rock climbing or maybe a bull, I guess.
I feel like it's very like you know, like 16th century of him.
It is. Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm French. I'm hearkening back to the Renaissance."
He's really getting into his roots, yeah.
Oh my god. I thought slacklining was like a relatively new embarrassing activity that people did in public.
No. Like hacky sack.
Or those sticks that you like have two sticks and you toss the stick back and forth with the other sticks.
Yeah.
That? It's a very specific. Okay, it takes a very specific American person to do those things, like slacklining,
or like bubble art in the park or something. I don't know, like with a huge bubble, thing.
It's it's like I don't know.
I would see slackliners in the park in Malcolm X Park in Washington, D.C., where I lived right at the bottom of the park. Yeah. I could see them slacklining from my window and hear the drum circle at the same time. Like, it's like that kind of same activity vibe. Yeah.
Which I feel so bad, like, shitting on it, but also, I'm sure, I don't know if you would call it fun, but, like it just is a very specific activity, and I feel like it's one of those things where if you get into it, you're really into it. But like most people aren't doing that. Like Pete and I aren't like taking our slack line out to the park every Sunday morning and like packing a picnic and like.
But if you do, that's fucking cool.
If you do, that's your thing. Yeah. I mean, I think it's weird, but and maybe it's a good workout or it's fun, but it's like just walk on a curb 1 foot at a time like everyone else. You know what I mean?
I mean, I could barely walk just down the street. So
I don't leave the house. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, he did all the work. He put the work in.
Yeah, he taught himself all this shit. He learned how to ride a unicycle.
Self-taught.
Self-taught.
Taught himself how to slackline and how to become basically a tightrope walker. And we both watched Man on Wire.
Man on a Wire, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just Man on Wire, which doesn't.
Really?
Yeah.
Bitch, what? I think
it's because, and this was a very funny specific, in the documentary, it shows why he was arrested, and it was like one of the reasons,
it is like, Man on Wire.
Yeah.
Oh, like Man on Fire? Okay.
Yeah, and it's like they had to write down on the police report like what he was doing that was like disruptive, and it just said Man on Wire. Yeah. And I thought that was funny.
Yeah, the police report. It's just like, okay.
But phonetically, that's not right. But yeah, he like learned all this stuff, and then when it was time in 1971, he did his first official stunt, like you said, on the Notre Dame in Paris, and just like randomly went rogue and was like, he tied a wire up between two of the flying buttresses.
The two main towers of Notre Dame. Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know where he put it. Yeah, and just like fucking went up there and delighted the shit out of the Parisian people down below.
Yeah, they fucking love tightrope walking. They're like, yes, we love it. They're snaps, like, great.
This is our classic entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was juggling and like waving to people and like prancing around up there, and people were just like, yeah.
Like if he had a Bluetooth speaker, the entertainer music would be playing. Do 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 do. Like that's what would be playing,
But instead, the crowd below just had to sing it because it was the 70s and they didn't have that. Or they had to call into a radio station and request it. The radio station's like, no.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Can you?
Écoutez le. Is that
the entertainer?
Yeah. No. Click. Oh my god. Yeah, but he was just doing his thing, and then he came down and he was immediately arrested, which as
can't do that shit.
You can't do that shit. That's a fucking that's a preserved building. That also you're putting yourself in danger. Also it's breaking and entering. Also it's just like all this shit on top of shit. I think some like priests were getting like ordained down below.
Yes, the priests were getting ordained. There was like a full ceremony happening in the Notre Dame at the time. But, you know, after they were done, they were like, "Oh shit, we're gonna check out this tightrope walker, you guys."
They're like,
done
we thought you were getting fireworks.
No. I was watching this guy. Like, I actually a lot of the priests at the Notre Dame at the time were like totally into it. They're like, "This is great. We love this."
Oh, I love that. Good.
Yeah.
Everyone embraced it, even though it's so scary. And if I saw that, I would leave immediately.
Oh yeah. 100%.
I'm not staying here for this.
I'll talk to you at the end of this about my thoughts and feelings on this kind of shit. Yeah. So
listen, I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
But he was arrested, and he had been arrested like in his whole lifetime. I don't know, like up until this point, but it wasn't his first time. He says he claims to have been arrested like over 500 times, but a majority of that is from being a street performer. Like, which in Paris you need a permit to perform on the street. Even just like juggling with a hat out to like put dollars in or whatever, you know.
That's so dumb.
It's so dumb. I think my awareness of this sort of thing at this point too is like, why can't people just make money using what they have? Like, why do people, if that's the type of work people want to do, they're giving a service, like they're entertaining people, they can ask for money. I don't see why it's bad.
I know. It's like busking is one of the oldest like forms of entertainment. Like, I don't understand. It's because, you know, it's just people hate anybody trying to do anything out of the norm. And it's like they want, like, authority always wants some sort of structure. And it's like, if you can't police people, then what is there to do for these people, you know? Yeah.
And they answer to like the money. And I think it happens when it's like neighborhoods don't want
so many NIMBYs.
Riffraff.
Yep. Yeah. NIMBYs, not in my backyard, people. I know. Yeah, it is weird, like, when cities are really cracked down on, like, people who are busking. But, like, my thought is, what if it's really bad? Like, what if...
like, they're not good?
Yeah, what if they're, like, out here and they really are a public nuisance? Like, what if they're busking by singing terrible covers of Dave Matthews Band songs? Like, what if it's bad, you know? In that case, I'm like, yes, find them, throw them in jail.
Put them in jail, yeah.
Yeah.
Death sentence, not for it, except right now.
Yeah.
You've got your ball, you've got your chain.
No, but even then, it's like, who cares, you know?
Yeah.
It's so temporary. They're only singing for, you know, maybe 4 hours at the most. I don't know.
Send them to Vermont or wherever people listen to that music. You know, like, that's what I'm like. Get them out of here.
Well, it's like, know your audience. You know,
know your audience.
Sing the hits for what's popular in your hood. Check out Spotify. See what's trending in your area.
Yeah, do some research
and get out there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Well, we said he did Notre Dame, then he went down under. He did the same stunt, but he did it on the Harbour Bridge in Sydney, Australia during rush hour. And this is like exactly where I dig in on what an asshole this guy is, because it's like, obviously the police came immediately, they shut down traffic, and then it's like, how fucking pissed are you if you're the person who just had like the worst day at work, you're just trying to get home to your dinner, like you just want to
your shrimps on the bobby,
shrimps on the bobby, your Fosters, Australian for beer.
Yeah, Fosties. Sorry,
they don't
people
drink
in Australia.
Yeah,
no, they hate it.
Or you're whatever. It's like you're trying to get home and watch American Idol Australia. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's not up to me. It's your you time after work.
That's right.
This fucking guy's up there
doing God knows what,
walking around on a wire,
laying down on it,
like being like defiantly laying down, like being like, I know you guys want to get home, but too bad.
I'm just gonna take a little break. Yeah.
What a fucking dingus. I'd be pissed.
Oh, I know. Yeah, but like they arrested him in Australia too. Yeah. But just like in France they arrested him and then they like released him. I'm sure he had to pay some sort of a fine or whatever. And same thing in Australia. Just like no real consequences. They were like, Oh, yeah, you walking on a tightrope up there, eh? Well, don't do it again. All right. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Slap on the wrist.
Here's a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. Oh my God, our accents are fucking
so bad. Sorry. Okay, I will stop.
Oh my God. Yeah, but whatever. He just was building up to his big.
These two, these are pretty major though. Like these two stunts were pretty major.
Yeah.
But I would say they were mere practice for for what he was gearing up for, which is something he had wanted to do for a really long time.
Oh my God. Yeah. Truly for the longest time. And before we get into like how much work went into this, I just want to admit something.
Okay.
Okay. I am such an asshole. Okay. I don't know why I thought that when we decided to do this topic that this guy just like fucking like it was slacklining in the park and he just like put a wire up and was like derping across it or whatever. I don't know why I thought this man was so like delusional, I guess, that he just like did this thing on a whim. It's not that at all. Like the engineering, the physics, the math, the planning that it takes to do all of this and the amount of people that he had to get involved and like the literal years he spent planning for what we're going to talk about next, including these other stunts, is years and like a decade or like so much time and like hours of practice.
Yeah, he I mean, it's not just the like practicing on the high wire. It's like literally like how you think about like what you have to do to break into the Notre Dame to get all of the equipment that you need to string up a wire that's like, you know, anchored down and connected to other guy wires and stuff. Like there's so much going on to make sure that this is safe for him.
Yeah, following weather patterns and like times of day and like what clothing he's wearing, like being able to do it like with his eyes closed, like all this stuff. Cuz he doesn't have a net. I don't think we said that, but he's like free.
He does not have a net. He does not have a harness. No. He's just up there himself in a balancing pole, like a long pole that's about 55 pounds that helps him stay balanced while he's literally walking with like almost bare feet. He just wearing like kind of like a dancing slipper almost.
Yeah, like a jazz shoe.
Like a jazz shoe, yeah.
A soft shoe.
A soft shoe, yeah. And that's it. And he's, you know, he wears like minimal clothing, like form-fitting, like black like leotard and pants and that's pretty much it. And it's just him and the elements. And it's fucking incredible. Yeah, truly.
It is. It really is.
Anyway, so yeah, this is a lot. And it like we're saying, it's all gearing up for doing the World Trade Center towers.
Yeah. Let's get into that because that's like the main event that we're talking about. We talked about it a little bit, but like this was a long time planning. Officially, the like planning that they were doing, like the math and the engineering and like going to the building and doing like site visits and all this stuff was about 3 months leading up to the actual event. But like you mentioned, when he was 18 years old, he was sitting in the dentist office and he was reading about the Twin Towers and how tall they were and that they were 200 feet apart. And
they hadn't even been built yet.
No. Yeah. This is like the plans of it.
He saw a mock-up for the Twin Towers. And that was like where he was like, I'm going to do a tightrope walk between the towers.
Yeah.
They didn't even exist. And he for a literal, like, I think like a literal decade had been planning to do this.
Off like a fucking blueprint.
Yeah.
In a magazine at his dentist's office. It's like it just got into his brain. And that's where I'm like, oh, he's like some sort of genius.
Or just somebody who can't let anything go.
Or he's really fixated. Yeah.
Yeah. But like you're saying, it took 3 months for him to get a crew of people together.
Yeah.
To like tap into his resources of like, you know, I mean, not only was he just like needing to get actual raw materials like the wires and, you know, whatever he needed to get into the building. He needed to get all those pieces in somehow.
Yeah.
He needed to like have the math, the measurements of exactly what, you know, he needed, like the distance between the two towers. He needed to see like how
where they'd hook it up, the wire up, like where they'd like nail it in or whatever.
Yeah, because at this point in time in 1974, the towers were not 100% complete.
Yeah.
The tops of the towers still were unfinished, and like a lot of the upper floors were empty, like, you know, still under construction. And there were like beams that were still exposed and not, you know, didn't have any like glass or anything around them. So like the top of the building was just kind of open and exposed. And this is what they were trying to get all of their materials up to like rig up the wire.
Which also means that there were crews working up there constantly.
Yeah, like construction crews.
Yeah.
And so they did like, the planning was like a literal heist.
Yeah.
He had a guy he knew. He had to connect for a helicopter to get up there to like take pictures, and, you know, just get the lay of the land from the like an aerial view. Like that's pretty intense. They needed to see how far how much the buildings were swaying on windy days, because that's how they were engineered.
Yeah. Like the movement, all buildings move. It's like a earthquake fail safe. And also, yeah, when it's windy, so like they need to be engineered so that they are a little fluid. And so like he needed to measure that sort of movement to know how the rope would move, like how much it would move and how they needed to like balance it.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. So there's so much planning and detail that goes into this. Like, we're not even going to get into all of it.
No.
Definitely watch Man on Wire, because they really go in depth about like all of the planning and preparation that they do. And their man on the inside was like some Commodore looking dude from the 1800s. I don't know, but he had like the thickest New York accent I've ever heard.
/ he looks like a Brooklyn bartender.
Yeah. Exactly. Totally. Yeah. Kind of like giving the Daniel Day-Lewis from Gangs of New York. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was, maybe it's based on him.
Maybe, yeah. Anyway.
But yeah. So they are doing a ton of work. Like he even got injured at one point doing these trips like up to see, you know, take all these measurements and see where they're going to hide stuff. And like, this is very heisty, but they're like looking at security patterns and like blind spots and just like learning everything they can about this building. But because it was still under construction, it was a construction site. He like fucking stepped on a piece of wood with a fucking nail in it.
Oh my God. And his feet are very important. They need to be able to.
Oh my God. I mean, you only
on
got
this wire.
2 of them on this wire, and now one of them's injured, and now you got to learn. It was scary. And I think at the end of, you know, at the end of all this, it was even like, I don't know if they felt prepared. Like it seemed like they weren't agreeing on everything.
No, one of the guys like boned out after they kind of had a scare with security. Like they, you know, they're up in this construction space, and there's security guards like checking all the spaces all the time. And one of the guys on their crew was like, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to go to jail. I'm sorry. This was fun in the beginning, like cosplaying like a heist situation, but I'm done. And then he's like, my run down the stairs was the most freeing moment of my life. Like, it's like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, God. They have to not only get through like the lower part of the building, like undetected, you know, like blend in with the like white collar office workers.
Yeah.
They also have to like get into like the construction worker like vibe of like bringing up all this shit into the fucking, you know, I don't know, freight elevators and shit. It's wild, all the stuff that they really. It's like one of those things where it's like you just start going with it and it gets more and more complex, and you're like, I guess let's just keep going, you know, and trying to find workarounds. And so it just seemed like a really intense thing that they were doing.
And I do think for something like this, like you need Petit to like be driving this thing and be so sure about
Fixated,
it and so involved and meticulous and troubleshooting things and solving puzzles and pivoting when they need to. Like
he's like a head of a startup or something.
Yeah. He's like a conductor or a composer. I don't know. Like he just is like so tunnel vision that he's just making everything happen, and it's pretty cool. And then like the night before they have the crew, like they split up into 2 teams of 2 people each, I think, and they go up to the tops of these buildings and in the cover of darkness because they have to set up for the next day for his wire walking. And that's insane. Like everything about that's insane. And he's there. And I'm like, why isn't he getting a good night's rest?
No, he's micromanaging down to the last fucking detail. And you know what? I don't think he could get a good night's rest if he didn't, because he's the one that has to do this walk. He has to check all these things and make it in his mind, you know, physically see how everything's prepared to make sure it's done right.
Confident. Yeah.
So, I mean, he trusts his buddies from France are out. Like he has like this crew of people that he trusts. His girlfriend is like in on the action and stuff. And, you know, it's very elaborate. It's been, you know, they've been doing it for 3 months. Tensions are getting higher. Emotions are heightened. And they're just pushing through all this stuff to do it. And so the way that they do it, though, I have to go into is so crazy. The way, like you said, they went up 2 teams into each tower. It's so weird talking about the World Trade Center in this way, like in this, like,
I know.
Kind of like how they did all this recon and stuff and learned everything they could about the towers. It's just so weird.
I know. It is weird talking about them, like, without talking about, like, 9/11.
Yeah, it's so strange.
But this was almost 20 years before, or no, almost 30 years before.
Yeah, it was when the buildings were brand new. So anyway, well, the way that they did this, the teams of 2, one went up with a fucking bow and arrow and shot a fishing line across.
Oh my God.
And so then they attached a rope to that, and then they kept bringing across like things tied to the rope, like more wires and whatever, to like get everything, guy wires, everything to get anchored. And then like this super heavy 450-pound steel cable, which he was going to walk on. Yeah. So when they got the steel cable across, though, it sank too fast, and they couldn't get it taut enough. So they had to pull it up manually, like just like hand over hand.
Oh my God.
I think they must have had some sort of like pulley situation, but it was just like all very, you know, flying by the seat of their pants kind of thing. Yeah. And so they had 2 points which to anchor the guy lines to, and there was a few other points on the building that they had to stabilize the cable to keep the swaying to a minimum while he was on it.
And the guy lights are like perpendicular cables that like help to anchor the main one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is like, again, fascinating. I thought he's just going up there with a rope and he's like, dur, 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 dur.
No, they were doing like full on construction on top of a construction site. So it's fucking wild. It reminds me of that scene in Ghostbusters where they're just like jackhammering into the middle of the street to get to it's Ghostbusters too, to get to the river of slime that's underneath the city, and like the police officer pulls up to them and is like, "You have a permit?" And he's like, "Yeah, we got a permit." And they just keep bullshitting, and then they finally get caught. But you know, it's just like that thing of where they just are going and going and going. Yeah. And so on the morning of August 7th, 1974, shortly after 7 a.m., Petit stepped out onto the wire and started to perform. And mind you, it was a little windy and it was foggy.
Moist, yeah. Oh my God.
And he was 1,350 feet above the ground. You guys know how tall the Twin Towers were.
Yeah.
He was at the very tippy top of them.
Yeah.
Doing this shit.
On the fucking roof. Yeah.
1,350 feet. That's 410 meters above the ground. He performed for 45 minutes, making 8 passes along the wire, which I did not realize that's how he was doing it. He just kept going back and forth. And he walked, danced, laid down on the wire, and knelt to salute watchers down below, because within the 45 minutes, crowd started gathering and people were like shouting and cheering and whistling, and it's fucking hell. It's just thinking of him doing that and seeing the images. It's truly fucking insane. No harness, just nothing, just a leotard, a balance bar, and vibes. That's all he had.
Good vibes. That's all.
Yeah. He fucking did it.
He did it, and like, I love this detail of the salute, because it's not like what we would think, like a military salute is where my mind goes. And there's a picture of this and it's so good. It's where he knelt and it's like kind of like a half bow. Like it's kind of like the arm, he put his arm out like a bow, which is so like French clown.
It's beautiful. It's a
so
beautiful fucking image. It's just,
it's stunning.
It is art. It is artistry. Art. Truly. Yeah.
It is. And half of this he's doing because it took minutes of people gathering at the bottom for the police to be notified and for those wheels to be set in motion. Yeah, security was on it. Like, the elevator starts coming up and they're like, oh fuck, we gotta do this. And like, he gets out there, and when the police show up, most of the time he's walking back and forth of the 45 minutes, he's taunting the police.
Yeah, he's just smiling and like kind of like half laughing at them, and New York City cops in the 70s are not about that life.
No. Like, I feel like they're not like that now, but like, yeah, it's like the quintessential New York City cop is the 1970s New York City cop. And
the guy that was being interviewed in the documentary is just like, this fucking asshole. He's just up here. We're just telling him to get the fuck down. Like, he wasn't saying that.
But I knew I'd never see this again.
Yeah.
He's like,
it was he was like, but he was doing his thing, so.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, and meanwhile he's like, oh, fuck you, hey.
Fuck you, let me walk over here, and now I'm walking over here. Yeah, he just, and the police were like, we're gonna get a helicopter and we're gonna pull you off that wire.
Get the fuck down from there. Yeah. We've given you 45 fucking minutes.
Yeah,
you're done. Get the fuck off that fucking wire. Yeah. We're gonna pluck you off with the fucking helicopter. How do you like that?
Oh man. And he was like, okay. He's like finally like, okay, I don't want to fuck with that. And also it was starting to rain. He could feel that the like temperature and the humidity in the air was changing. So it's good because it would have gotten slippery, and that's scary. And the whole time I'm thinking this, like, I know he didn't die, but like, how dumb would it be if you're like starting to taunt the police and then you just fall off and die? You could have made it, you could have survived, but you were so proud.
Mm-hmm.
Just infuriating.
I hate it so much. So he was up there for 45 minutes, 8 passes back and forth. And then like you said, started to rain. So he was like, I'm done, and again, immediately arrested by the NYPD.
Yeah. Like almost violently. Like,
they almost threw him down the stairs. Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't he didn't have fun with that. But
no.
He knew that he was gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
And they took him in for a psychiatric evaluation. He spent a few hours in like a psychiatric hospital. They ended up charging him with disorderly conduct and criminal trespassing, which those charges were later dropped because the Manhattan District Attorney was like, hey, this was kind of cool. I don't want to say that out loud.
Yeah.
It's not going to be on paper. But I will drop
It's kind of
these
sweet.
charges.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of sweet. And like, I'm kind of proud of you. And this is very cool.
Glad you didn't die.
Yeah. Glad you didn't die. What if you came to Central Park and did like some sort of show and like I let you off the hook and he's like, yeah.
Yeah. Literally had all of his charges dropped.
Yeah.
To perform in Central Park for some kids.
Yeah.
And the DA was like,
Win-win.
okay.
Yeah. Free publicity. It is starting to make me wonder, like, how did he make money? Like he never really had normal jobs. Was it just like he's an artist and like he has like patron like? But then I was like, did he sell merch at this event in Central Park, like where it's like man on wire? Like,
I mean,
his little body saluting the.
This is the thing. He wasn't David Blaining this. He was not capitalizing on it. Okay. He was just doing it for himself. And I don't know, but I do think that people were financially contributing to him to like make sure he could get like the raw materials for what he needed and whatever, disguises like for breaking. Yeah. And eat and whatnot.
And live, so like.
He did have a financial backer. As a matter of fact, Francis Braun, a German juggler, provided a lot of financial support for specifically for this project and its planning. Not a joke that it was a German juggler though. That's fucking real.
Yeah, the juggle community is tight. Like they're like we're
family. This is where jugglers started.
No, this is gathering of the jugglers. It's a little different.
A little different. A little classier.
Yeah, little. Little. It's just a little more European.
Yeah.
And no one throws shit at Tila Tequila at their events, but to each his own.
If they do, it's like full bottles of wine, so watch out.
Oh, I meant literal shit.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
They don't do that there.
So this guy pretty much got away with everything scot-free. They also like the Port Authority gave him a lifetime pass to be able to access the World Trade Center observation deck whenever he wanted. They're like, hey, we know you did this like super illegal thing, but like, here's a free pass to go up there whenever you want. Don't do it again, but you can go up there.
But like, this makes you all look bad. No one realizes that.
I know, and he also like autographed a beam of at the top of the World Trade Center. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, it turned into like this celebrity thing.
Yeah, they actually did kind of capitalize on this in a good way. It
was smart.
It was some dope PR for the Twin Towers because, they just been built and people didn't exactly love them. They weren't endeared to the city yet as we know them now, because a lot of people were like, they're ugly. One critic was this historian, Lewis Mumford, and he regarded them as, quote, ugly and utilitarian in design. And there was too large a development for the area. So they were not exactly beloved pieces of architecture yet. But after Petit did this, it was like kind of landed it on the map and was like, look how beautiful these images are, and look at how iconic these two towers are now.
Look at what a feat of engineering even just these buildings are. They're so tall.
Yeah, it was like a full-blown publicity stunt that they couldn't have even planned in their wildest dreams. They at the time they were even having trouble renting out office space. So after this, though, they were good to go and became beloved on a level that we know now. And, on a personal level, the aftermath of this, not just like him getting arrested and nothing really happening and him just kind of becoming a performer for the city, basically. But on a personal level, Petit lost his friends and girlfriend after the stunt was over. Two of his main French dude buddies who helped him with this kind of like heist situation, the whole event planning around this. They were on the roof of the towers with him and were arrested. they were barred from ever entering the United States again. They got fucking exiled from our country after this.
And he didn't. That's wild.
And he didn't. Yeah. He actually currently lives in New York City. And
oh yeah, because he's like an artist in residence at a church there.
Yeah. And as for his girlfriend, who supported him like through all his eccentric ups and downs and whatever, he so when he got arrested and released, he comes out of the jailhouse to a throng of, you know, press and people just like crowding around. And this woman comes up to him and was just like, I just wanted to like be the first one to like hug you and kiss you and congratulate you. And like, I saw you do that high wire shit. You want to fuck? And he was like, yep. And he just like went and had sex with this rando lady. Did not tell his friends or his girlfriend where he was. Like, he literally like got out of jail, went and had sex with a random woman. And he admits in the documentary that his friends and his girlfriend were like waiting up for him and wondering where the fuck he was after he got released from jail. And he just straight up lied to them and said he was doing interviews and when he was really doing sex. And so yeah.
I was so fucking pissed. I was pissed from the moment that this fucking documentary begins and they're interviewing the girlfriend and she is basically setting up this whole documentary with like, he was so driven at this. I knew that in order to be his partner, I had to just support him.
I know. She's like, he never asked me once what my like dreams were. And I knew that he never would. And I knew that the path of our lives were going to just be me following him.
I hate it.
And I was like,
hated
bitch.
that. But also, I understand. I mean, this man is a narcissist. Also, though, like when you're that driven and there's something that you want to accomplish and you're that laser focused, like you truly don't care.
No, yeah.
Everything everyone's working on all the time is to fulfill your dream. Like, how do you not get swept away in that? Like,
and he was surrounding himself with the people who were supporting that and enabling it. So, you know, that's what it was. And
whether they wanted to be a part of it or because they believed in him or all of the above or loved him or whatever, it's like they're still doing everything they're doing is for this man.
Yeah. I just thought it was fucking wild that that
he just got out and boned some lady or that lady's just like, I just saw you on top of the building.
What a fuck.
Here's these titties.
Yeah.
I live around the corner.
It truly, men just baffle.
Yeah.
It was the 70s. What are you going to do? Listen.
He was probably fucking high. Like he was probably not on drugs. He was probably the adrenaline that he had after that experience. Even just doing this podcast, sometimes it takes me a while to calm down. And we're not doing this for anyone. And we're not on top of, 1,300 feet in the air.
I know. Listen, this shit. Okay, so he's good. He went on with his life. He survived. He's still alive. I think he did Niagara Falls in the 80s, which is cool. Anyway, this man, this whole thing, this is my final thoughts and feelings on this. This shit makes me physically ill. Like watching, I'm serious. Watching footage and looking at the pictures of him doing this make me shaky and nauseous. Like, there's something about somebody doing this kind of a stunt that is like truly simultaneously horrifying and incredible. Like I agree, it's impressive and breathtaking.
Yeah.
Like just the images of him doing this are they're so gorgeous and stark and just incredible. I don't know, but it there's something about this kind of a stunt that really bothers me. And before I watched the movie, the documentary Man on Wire, which you guys should totally watch. It's from 2008. It won a bunch of awards. Yeah. There's something about this kind of a stunt that really bothers me because, and this is purely my opinion, but when people like, so, you know, hate it, take it or leave it, whatever.
Yeah.
But when people,
it's yours, you can have it.
When people do like daredevil shit like this in public and there's a high probability of death, and it's not planned and it's not, you know, something that people can opt out of, it's forcing people to witness something that could be potentially traumatizing. Like you could potentially watch somebody fall to their death. And I think that fucking sucks, you know?
Yeah.
It's exhilarating and it's great if it goes well, but also what if it doesn't, you know? I don't know.
I mean, you're potentially endangering people too, who like now have to, because this is illegal and you're not supposed to be up there, who now have to come out onto the roof. You know,
that's true.
What if someone gets like one of the rescue people gets like vertigo and falls off the building? What if, like, I don't know. There's just, you're really putting a lot of people in a bad situation on so many levels that haven't opted in. Like you're saying, like none of this is consensual for people who are caught up in it.
You're just walking down the street in New York and you look up and there's a guy like, what, you know?
Yeah.
And also like nowadays, like what people do like daredevil shit, like Evel Knievel, you know, all his shit was like televised and like heavily fucking sponsored. And it was just like, it was a crazy thing and he'd fucking crash and almost kill himself. But you had the option of like tuning into it or not.
And there's contingency plans. Like the network is like, if for any reason this thing happens, like they're going to cut away.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not, like a Formula One race or whatever, like if someone crashes, they're not zooming in to see like, oh, is the car going to explode and this person died? No, everyone's like, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like there's something about this though that's like particularly subversive that like
I agree.
Makes me very itchy.
Yeah.
Also, like this man did this for his own boner and dragged his girlfriend and friends into it.
Yeah.
And they would have been accomplices in his death if something had gone wrong. And thousands of people would have had to witness it. So like, you know, I don't know. Like that is another level that sucks because you're dragging all these other people into your fantasy of completing this like very intense thing. It's not because like people will be like, well, it's like an individual thing. It's like it's not an individual thing when you have to have all these other people helping you, and you're involving people on that level. I don't know.
I know. I agree. Also, like the.
And even if they're consenting and agree to it, like it still sucks. I don't know.
Well, and this is a thing. This is a thing where it's like, I think he's a very charismatic person. He's like a cult leader in that sort of way where it's like he was able to talk himself in and out of things and he was able to assemble this team. And again, everyone is doing all of his bidding. This is 100%. They're getting nothing out of it except for being able to say that they were there. That's it. And like, it's an experience and maybe they want that. But I feel like maybe they were all young and stupid and they like didn't understand that like
their full frontal lobe was not fully developed yet for sure.
No, it was out to lunch. And, but you know, and when they're talking about this, like they did all get fucked over and none of them are friends anymore. And like this ruined everything because he was so hyper focused and they just thought they were going to be part of something special. But it's like, but this doesn't even involve, like he's doing this not for any of you and you're not going to share this.
Yeah. I mean, they think they did share in the experience, but on a level that like an average, you know, passerby or anyone witness would, you know, on another level, but still. And, you know, maybe that's enough for them, but maybe. I don't know.
They seemed sad.
Yeah, that one guy was like crying a lot.
A few of them are crying, yeah.
I know. I don't know. On one hand, it is very cool that humans can and will do things that are truly unbelievable and ultimately cool like this, but also it's scary and fucked up if things go wrong. And I guess that's what makes a stunt like this so incredible. That's the dichotomy of something like this, I suppose.
I wanted to hate it so bad. I wanted to hate, like...
Oh, I know. Before I watched it, I was like in the shower thinking about like having those thoughts. Like, I don't want to watch this movie.
Me too.
Like, it's gonna make me so fucking mad because like this guy just is out there swinging his dick on a wire, you know,
doing whatever the fuck he wants. Just like, oh, I don't care that this isn't like. It's like, go climb a rock that's like public. You know, go do something that like is a little more palatable.
But people do that shit and take selfies and fall off and die.
True, but like,
that's like the kind of like same anxiety that I get, you know.
I get scared of that too because that's also dumb. But I mean, like this, you're not in nature away from a bunch of people. You're like, in the middle of a city in the morning when everyone's getting up and going to work and like, forcing people to participate.
And the news crews are out or have hit the streets and are like zooming in on you. Yeah.
Oof. But it was beautiful to watch, and the storytelling of this documentary is very good, and there's so many fun little details, and like he really was like they really did plan the shit out of it, and like
I mean that's like the main story is like how intense it was to do that. Yeah. Cool. And the payoff was luckily great.
He did it.
But listen, not for me.
No, I never want to see that live. No, thank you.
No. And, sir, please just like, I don't know, teach slacklining in the park.
Yeah. To kids.
Yeah. I don't know.
I know. In helmets.
Make
the children wear helmets.
Yeah. God damn it.
And a net.
A net.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love a net.
Oh, my God. I love all the Annettes. Benning, Funicello. Is there other ones?
I don't think so. Not off the top of my head. Yeah, those are the good ones.
Yeah.
I don't know any others.
No. A net-a-porter? Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Net-a-porter.
Just net-a-porter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got on this guy.
Same, yeah.
What a tale. What a time. The 70s were wild. This was yet another part of it.
Yeah. And
fucking dude just walking in between the Twin Towers. Come on.
And this guy, I think it was true what I said up top. I think he is an artist, but also an asshole. And like you said, you're usually both. And I said, you right.
And nary shall the two be parted. I don't know.
Yeah. Always with one, there's always the other.
Yep.
All right. Well, follow us on social medias. Yeah. DTFU Podcast.
At DTFU Podcast everywhere. Go to our website, dtfupodcast.com.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot us a note. Say what's up.
Say what's up. Send us a topic.
Yeah, we'd love that.
We love topics.
We love them.
Check out our Patreon. We have a Patreon. We're artists. You can support us on our Patreon.
Are you a German juggler? Would you like to support us?
Or a German podcaster, I guess. Juggle to juggle, podcast to podcast. But also maybe you are a juggler and you just want to like support us because you love us. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just patreon.com/DTFU podcast. So much fun stuff.
Yep. Check it out. We've got lots more content. If this regular episodes aren't enough for you, we got lots more on the old Patreon.
Plenty of content for you to juggle.
That's right. Okay, that's all I got.
Amazing.
Listen here. Be excellent to yourselves
and each other.
Bye-bye.
Bye.